Welcome to the Game Corner, another video game podcast. My name is Harrison. You might know me online as Urix, and I am joined, as always, by friends and co-hosts.
Rowan, you might know me as Mocha. I've been doing nothing but YouTube content for the past 2 days now. I am joined by...
And this is Sheldon, probably know me as Captain Yanova.
What's up? How's life?
Oh, churning it out. I had like kind of told myself I was only going to do like one YouTube video a month or something, just like whatever feels right. And then the Malamar game started and we're supposed to post every game we play. And I had to catch up from Charlotte. So yeah, it's done like 3 in 3 days.
Yeah, I was going to say, you've had, if you guys are not in the Discord already, Rowan's been posting his videos in the announcements channel, and I'm like, oh, it's so much talking there that normally we don't have, which is exciting.
Yeah, so I did put up the first one against week 2 was Andy Love VGC. I was actually informed that it's like upon their name and not Andy LA, so that's my B. And then match against Neil is up as of today, and then I just finished dubbing the one against Audie, so that'll be tomorrow. It should be up by the time this podcast is live.
Nice.
Very nice.
What about you, Sheldon?
Well, I streamed last week. I streamed my match against you and Rosemary for the Malamar. I played her in
that
Malamar.
was super cool with the Pichu.
Yeah,
That Pichu was very cute.
Pichu was the MVP of that team. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was actually really fun to watch. And then it was less fun to watch me entirely choke on turn 1, game 3 of our match.
No.
Yeah, yeah, you did.
I did not click a tear that I should have clicked, and that's all there is to that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to take a look at that. And yeah, so Cap and I are now up against each other in the semis, and then our winner plays Poppy for the finals.
Oh, Poppy! Poppy's.
This is for. We didn't say this is for the Battle Corner, by the way.
Yes.
Our monthly tournament. Yeah, we're gonna do a sign up for Regulation C version of it soon. But yeah, the nature of this being like async means that sometimes it takes a little while. So yeah, hopefully the next one will be soon.
Well, especially we had Charlotte and just everything kind of hit at once. So
I also just realized that for once in our lives we're recording this early, so I'm not late to put the sign up on, which will be up by the time this is live.
Yay!
Nice. Yeah,
I forgot how time worked.
I say playing best of 3 in Reg C should be really fun, just because like right now I've just been thinking about the global challenge this weekend. It is the first online event, maybe the first online event ever for this gen, but also the first one that awards significant championship points. I think there was an IC. There was an IC in Sword and Shield, but it awarded only 50 points to the person who was best in the world, which is
and it was
wild.
Someone in Japan, I think, or something.
Yeah, which Japan is very, very good at the close sheet stuff.
Then in one of the first ICs, I think the same guy got number 1 and number 2. I'm pretty sure if I remember that correctly.
Yeah, with separate switches.
You just played 2 switches, 2 versions.
Yep.
Now
Lovely.
There isn't quite as obvious a thing as like Dynamax P2 this gen, but you can still come up with some serious shenanigans with Terra.
That's why I've been trying, like, just because it's closed team sheet, best of 1. So I'm like, I need to like bring something. Real. I need to bring something that's just a little bit different than what we're used to playing. I like.
Oh, you're going to be so much nicer to people than me. I'm going to bring something that looks completely normal, and from turn 1, it is going to be nonsense. And
what are you doing? I mean, don't spill the beans here, but tell us offline.
I'll tell you offline.
Right?
Yeah. It's the Georgia Cruise sauce right now, but I'm stealing it. So.
I think I saw some talk about that.
I need to go look in that Discord.
Yeah.
Something to do with the dozo.
No, believe it or not.
You're not doing the dozo.
But I will say the words weakness policy Don Dozo showed up more on Twitter recently than
a lot, all over the place.
Yeah. I hate that. That's disgusting.
What if Commander but +4?
Yeah.
Oh. I'm probably gonna. I was streamed a couple days ago, which is exciting because that was the first time I streamed in quite a while. It seems, and I'm gonna make content out of that. But the team that I ended with, I streamed 2 days into the new season, new format, and then I got to Master Ball, so that was pretty fun. Just to actually do that for once in my life. And the team I ended with is high offense, lead roulette. That's probably what I'm bringing to the IC this weekend.
The only problem with that, I feel like, is I would have a hard time choosing the lead because I saw that team.
Yes.
Like, why do I want to lead? Yeah, so it's not just the opponent having to think. So that's too much thinking just for me. Like, I think I'm just going mouse ape and just Here's a mouse and an ape. Good luck.
Mouse ape is fun. And mouse ape is very fun and pretty good right now, I feel.
It's very good.
So there's that. So we are like what 4 or 5 days into the 6 by the time this comes out into the new regulation. How are y'all feeling about Regulation C? Before we get into the Regulation C,
it's a meta.
That just happened.
It's a meta.
It is a meta of all time, I would say. I had trouble starting off in Series 2 as well, so it might get better, but this is a lot worse. I will say getting to play with Justin Tang's team definitely gave me a bit more love for it. It clicks with me fairly well, so that's nice. It looks like it also clicks with basically everybody, because I've run into a lot of mirrors with it, especially now that he's dropped his EVs.
Yep.
Yeah, but I mean, things will balance out and people will choose what actually works for them later on. I'm not playing in any regionals until Hartford, which, by the way, we're signing up for it an hour from now in real time.
Yeah.
But yeah, the meta will settle. People will make adjustments to that. But in the meantime, I think people are still split between either there's the most hyper offensive nonsense or pure stall or clicking fissure a lot.
Okay, apparently, and we'll get into this, but apparently clicking fissure, it works.
It sports on me today on ladder. Like I was playing some ladder today. I think I got hit by like 4 fissures. I was like, okay, I'm done. Like
you got outskilled. I'm sorry.
I know I did.
Okay. I have to ask. Knee-jerk-ish reaction. Do you guys where do you land on fissure? Is it bad? Is it toxic for the meta?
I think mathematically it's bad. Yes. Technically it is mathematically bad because this mon gets access to ruination, right? So the idea being, so if you account for there was a whole, I think Nails actually took over the stream at some point and commandeered it to talk about this math, but the idea being that ruination is a 90% accuracy move that always has 50% of your opponent's health. So in theory that does 45% taking into account accuracy on average, right? And that is as opposed to fissure, which does 100% 30% of the time, which means on average it's only doing 30%. So in theory, ruination is just a better move, but it gives you an out. It's like having Sing or something on your Gothitelle, right? If you're about to lose, you have a potential win button there. 30% of the time, it works every time. And
I think that's when it's good. I think that's a spot for it is later in the game. Not what gets me, kills me on ladders. What I was getting hit with today is when it's turn one fissure. Yeah, I'm like
turn one fissure.
You're not even trying. Yeah,
but
you're not even trying.
Make me want to throw my Switch. That's what happened when I was on stream the other day. I was I got, I think the first 2 fissures that I saw hit, and I'm like, ooh. And I get it now.
You do have that stomping tantrum synergy, right? So in theory, it's not necessily bad.
But 2 stomping tantrums is the same as
a missed fissure plus
a missed fissure.
Now the thing is that you can just protect the okay, if someone just clicks fissure on you, you're like, okay, he's probably stomping the next turn. I'm just going to click protect. But it's doubles and it's more complicated than that. So it has a place. It's just do you want to really dedicate a move slot to I need an out if I'm already losing? The real answer is simply don't be already losing, right?
Yes. That's why it's okay. I feel like it's passable on an AV set just because you need 4 moves.
You don't have protect.
Yeah, but if you have a choice between protect and fissure, you need to be taking protect just for consistency.
But a lot of sets run earthquake instead, which is also legitimate, right? Especially with all the Terra flying stuff that's going around now. So yeah, hard to say.
Yeah, but
it's
I don't think it's just toxic for the meta. It's because I remember
I think it's pretty toxic for the meta.
I remember Sword and Shield. There's a little time where you ran into a lot of sheer cold Lapras.
Yep,
that was a thing because they needed another move, so they just slapped on sheer cold, and
because Lapras existed to Gigantamax, set up screens, and then it was kind of a dead
sit
slot.
There.
But I think people later figured out that Parasong was a very nice last move. But yeah.
Yeah, you would run into sheer cold, and you just kind of get one of those things. Just cross your fingers.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, to the point of Lapras just sitting there, and then of course Ting Lu can just sit there. That's the only reason why these OHKO moves are even viable.
Yeah, because
no one's running sheer cold on Chen Pao.
Yeah.
I think it is crazy that like all the new great designs that they've been doing for the new Pokemon. Like Gen 9 has had the most wacky competitive designs of any gen so far, and that is what's enabling all these traditionally either singles or non-existent concepts like spikes, like just any kind of entry hazards.
Yep.
There was a Stealth Rock in cut of
Tinglu stealth cut. Yep.
I'm like, that set up rocks.
We have seen Stealth Rock, we have seen Toxic Spikes, we are now seeing Oko moves. We've been seeing Oko moves even just against Dondozo for a while too, right? Like all these things that have never historically ever in like a decade of VGC been a thing are now a thing. And when the Hisuian moms come and we get Samurott in there, we're gonna get spikes too.
Yep.
That's very true.
Yeah. Well, one of the things with like the toxic spikes, so like Lemore, that's an ability, so that makes that's a little bit different.
Yeah. Although people are now running corrosion
to poison other Lemoras. Yeah.
But even outside of that, Toxic Spikes Meowscarada was a thing in Series 1.
For Dondozos.
Yep, exactly.
Yep. Which it makes sense for something like a Dondozo that traps itself in.
Yeah, which then forced a meta development with Rest. Like that was part of the reason why Rest Dozo became a thing.
Oh, good point. Yeah, you just take care of that.
It was also why Toxic Spikes Meowscarada went away. But yeah, no, you're right. Like it's just been cool to see.
That didn't last super long, right? Like
it did not know. And Meowscarada is also just not even in the top 50 anymore. So
right.
Yeah. Which is wild to think. You have a Urshifu like move, and it's just non-existent.
It was top 5 for Series 1, but
granted, Urshifu you can't protect or anything, so that changes a lot. So
it was the combination that really made Urshifu busted. Also, the fact that Urshifu had base 130 special attack, right? Like, Scarada Flower Trick is good, but it doesn't do insane damage because I think they only have like base 110. Yeah. Same attack as Tinglu for reference. Like, strong but not crazy. Yeah. Okay, I think we should jump into these tournament results because we have an hour until sign up time.
Yeah, we can go
you're
for
so
a while.
Worried. We have so much time. We are like a quarter into the episode already. We don't go for an hour and a half.
No, never. When does that ever happen?
Only when it was just you and me, because Mocha's one that keeps us on track sometimes.
True.
All right, Sydney first, since that's the actual first Regulation C tournament.
Sure. I actually did not watch Sydney.
I have not watched it. I just finally caught up today on all of Fort Wayne. I caught up on that today, so I need to catch up on Sydney at some point.
Yeah, I did nothing this weekend, so Beck and I did actually just sit on the couch and watch all of Fort Wayne.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, big names here, though. Sam Pandelis at second, Megan Rattle at sixth. Trying to see, like, Oceania just kind of has their own scene, although it's interesting to see some players coming over from Asia, from China and Taiwan, by the looks of it, doing well. Which
is pretty cool. It's nice to see. I think I said it earlier for a different tournament, but it's nice to see no American flags. Like, that's super cool because it lets that scene be its own thing, which is, I think, worth it. Especially because the thing that catches my eye twofold at the top 8 is Flutter Mane in every single top 8.
Yeah.
That's not shocking. It's fun to see. It's not shocking. What is shocking and super fun to see is there are a whopping 3 Wo-Chien here in top 8.
Yeah.
So whatever they're doing on the other side of their world, they understand how to use that snail, and we don't.
Yeah, it's not happening in the States. So there's a lot of trends here.
Super different metas too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, with that said, they do, like, people have found the new definitive Fire Watercrass core, just period, is Palafin, Arcanine, Among Us. And it obviously existed in Series 2, but it is just definitive now, at least in early
It's very good.
Yeah. I need to, I have a team that I'm trying to work on that has that exact thing. Because, of course, I love my Dolphin Boy.
Well, you can look at the first 4. You can have Flutter Mane, Amoonguss, Arcanine, Palafin.
Yeah, those are the
2
4.
others. 2 others.
Exactly.
Yep.
I think that Liam Gilbert, the winner, has a really cool kind of take on this, though. Is like, it's very similar to the winner of to Justin Tang's team. Spoiler, the winner of Fort Wayne, but a little bit of a different take in that it has Gothitelle on there. Gothitelle and Iron Hands. So Iron Hands always just has had great synergy with Palafin teams, just because it's an amazing switch in to for your Dolphin, and then you get to fake out the following turn. But Goth trapping you against a Fluttermane or Chenpao is really, really scary. That's awful to deal with.
Yeah.
Fluttermane's, or not Fluttermane, Gothitelle though. It's always got a good spot.
It does.
Like,
That
if you
shadow
can
tag
catch
is so
people,
strong.
yeah, if you can catch people on it, it is just backbreaking.
Question: Gothitelle was in Sword and Shield, right?
Yeah,
It was
Was it as like prominent in the meta?
towards the
At
end.
times, yeah.
People were finding uses for it in Series 12. It was doing really well. It cut a lot with
it took us a lot at the end.
Polyrex.
Yeah, it was at the end,
Okay.
but yeah, it definitely did, but not as much because you had max
I feel like it's
moves.
more prevalent now. When
Yeah,
Scarlet
well, it
Violet.
is because Scarlet and
You had to
Violet
run it
is-
like sashed or something too, like in Sword and Shield, because you're getting hit with a max move and it's getting deleted.
Yeah, it was sashed very often. The thing is that switching wasn't as big of a concept in Sword and Shield. Like, you wanted to Dynamax and stay in and murder things, and it's like, why would I ever switch out my Dynamax mon? This is dumb. Whereas, like, Scarlet and Violet is real Pokemon again. You have to pivot, you have to position.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good point. I do like it's real Pokemon again.
I say this as someone who wasn't there for real Pokemon, but if I even looking back, like, I realized just how carried I was during Gen 8. Like, it was a very different game.
There's a conversation to be had there because I've heard bits and pieces of it from different places of like how vastly different Gen 8 was to the rest of Pokemon.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
of Dynamax.
You've always heard a lot of people, they didn't play it because they just didn't like it. I guess they didn't like the whole, I guess, battle cruiser type thing where you just have your one big attacking thing and everything else there is centered around that.
And now not all, but a lot of those people who we don't know their names because they weren't here during Gen 8, but they were big VGC fixtures. They're coming back and they're winning and they're doing really well because this is their game again.
Yep.
Anyway, would anything else stand out to y'all in this? So there's a lot more Chi-Yu doing well in this top 8, but overall, I think like Glimora too. Glimora is something that I wanted to explore a lot in this early meta, but I was a little disheartened to see it not do well at Fort Wayne. So it's kind of cool to see that it did have results overseas.
Yeah, same. It's paired right there with the Wo-Chien, which I guess is not that shocking when you see effectively a stall core with Glimora, Wo-Chien, and King Lu. Right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm guessing it is, not looking at anything more than that.
Yeah, it's there to, boost up that Fluttermane just so you have some offense on that kind of team.
I do also appreciate the variety in water types we're seeing. So, of course, Palafin. Gyarados is becoming huge, Intimidate, and Flying. And then Azumarill.
Yeah.
I thought Gyarados was always close in Series 2. It was always, but I think there was too many.
Its breakthrough was regulations season, right?
Yeah, it was always close, but like you had too many Iron Hands too in Series 2.
And Iron Bundle even more so, right? You got the quad weakness from Freeze Dry. And but yeah, Bundle's definitely fallen off outside of one very prominent person in Fort Wayne. So Gyarados is suddenly having a big resurgence because being an Intimidator who is immune to Ting Lu's nonsense is very nice.
Yep.
Yeah, I think honestly, besides that, like the teams we're seeing here without going through all of them.
This is how far down?
Halucha. Wait, hold on. Yeah.
Yeah, number 15.
15.
So Halucha made top 16. That's beautiful.
Crazy, yeah. A Skeledirge.
Skeledirge, yeah, okay.
Series 2 Skeledirge team.
On a rain team? Is that what I'm seeing?
Yeah,
Hold
on. A Pelipper.
What are you doing there, friend?
Very normal. Just Torch Song, Shadow Ball, Slack Off, Terra Grass. Like, yeah.
This Halucha is just Detect, Swords Dance, Acrobatics, and Drain Punch with a Psychic Seed.
It's pretty cool.
Psychic Seed.
I like it. You can follow me away, and you get your Swords Dance, and you just start murdering things. I love it.
That's actually a pretty disgusting team. Because that's Mousehold, Amoonguss, Armarouge, and Didi, Halucha, and Chempao.
Yep. So you can have Halucha with 3 redirectors
and that
just
hurts.
never get to hit it.
Yeah, and then you
can
boost the power even further with Chien-Pao, or have Chien-Pao plus Population Bomb as well.
Oh, I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Was it running Pop Bomb?
It was running Pop Bomb. It was an old school wide lens set. Yeah.
Wide lens.
Oh, nice.
Follow me Encore Pop Bomb.
Love how I can say old school about something from January, but
yeah, old school.
That was like 2 series ago. Like
that's
ancient
how
history.
This game works. Yeah. But as I was saying, like a lot of these look like we're seeing the early shape of the meta. I feel because like all of these teams, besides the prominent Fluttermane, like they do look pretty similar.
Yeah.
I feel like there's you can kind of see the directions going.
Give it a month, it'll change.
Oh yeah. I'm not.
I don't think Fluttermane is going anywhere.
Oh, not
Fluttermane.
Fluttermane.
No,
Not
yeah.
Fluttermane. Not until we get Incineroar. We get Incineroar, we'll be.
Can I be honest with y'all for a moment? My like guilty, dirty pleasure. That's not the right word, but I'm gonna go with it. It's the feeling I'm trying to get. I played with Fluttermane, and I'm like, I miss Golden Go. I want to put a
You do
Golden
have
Go
to be
next to
really
Chi-Yu.
careful with it. Like you have to people are
know.
running all these
Yeah.
bulky spreads now because you gotta if you live one hit, it's really huge on that thing. But
Yeah.
I know.
yeah,
I-
I think
I've
it's
been-
a skillful mon, to be honest.
Yeah. I've been
I
running
felt
a
more
super
comfortable
bulky.
with it.
I was running a super bulky in Charlotte too, just because, like, I need to be able to live like 2 or 3 hits sometimes on it, just because you're not going to keep it from getting hit.
And you don't pick up Okos with it. You may next
No.
to a Chi-Yu now, even then, because like it's
That's what I'm
balanced.
thinking.
It's balanced around not just its frailty, but also the fact that it gets no high base power moves. So like,
Yep. Moonblast is your strongest move, so
which is base 90. Like it's solid, but it's not wave crash, right? So
Yep.
you very often will miss your Okos, and you've got to like have your plan to stay alive so you can hit them twice. It 2-hit
Yeah.
KOs a lot.
yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting to see how varying the sets have been for main.
Okay, can we go over to Fort Wayne? Because that is
let's
one I
do it.
actually know about.
I was gonna say, yeah, I think we know more about Fort Wayne, so we can talk a lot more about that.
Oh, also just the last note for the Sydney wasn't the first turn a fissure hit.
Was it really?
On
Yeah.
Sydney?
Yeah, the
haven't watched
first game on stream, first turn was a fissure hit.
That is disgusting.
Yeah, and I see that would be upsetting if it wasn't for what we saw at Fort Wayne, which
Yeah,
was
it just set the
even
it set the tone
worse.
for the
Even
week.
worse,
It
yeah.
it set the tone for the weekend.
Okay, but
Yeah, fair.
we knew this going in, right? Like we knew that Fissure and Tinglu, that was gonna be a thing that existed.
I think
and
we
was
just
gonna be a
figured
pain.
that like on stream it would be like consistent with its accuracy rating, and it
The
very
actual
much was
30%.
It was
Yeah.
not. No, it was.
Yeah.
It was.
It
It,
had
was 80%.
considerably better accuracy than Thunderwave did. Yeah,
They need to check the coding of this game, I think, because
you're not even wrong, because like at one point there was like proven that it had the same. Like I think they fixed
same
it.
seed.
Ostensibly they fixed it, but yeah, it's the same RNG seed for every single game.
I think I've seen more fissures hit, and like than I've had population bombs with the wide lens hit 10 out of 10 times.
That's upsetting, for many reasons. Okay, yeah. Let's go to
Yeah.
Fort Wayne.
So first things first, Justin Tang wins his second regional out of 3 regionals ever entered in his first season.
Yep.
That the second one in a month, and the one that he didn't win, he still got, I think, top 16.
16.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Some people are just built different. I don't even know.
Like
well,
Like-
it's wildly impressive, but like he's also been playing singles for a long time, I think,
it's
and like it is different. It's a different game.
if
I'm
you
not-
take 999 out of 1,000 Smogon players and tell them to play VGC,
I
they
agree.
They won't
I
go.
wholeheartedly
They won't
agree.
go positive, let alone win a regional.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, Justin Tang is wildly impressive, and like
he said he watched Cybertron videos and got good.
yeah, and he's
So-
like, I want to go play VGC.
I was like,
and
huh,
then
this is
he
easy.
did.
Yeah.
Oh man, it is wild to see. I don't know, almost like the new guard coming in,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, he is 100%. Like,
And
is he like? It's
enforce.
almost GOAT status, just the way.
Yeah,
The start to a career, like
Yeah.
and like no one's done that good. Period. I think, like with that kind of record.
Not initially. Yeah. We'll see if
Yeah.
he keeps it up. But yeah, unbelievable.
2 and 3. Like, I don't think did Ray Rizzo do that. Like, but you don't have comparable
Yeah,
regionals.
it's
Well, the numbers
it's
are
not,
huge now, right?
Each regional
are
that
huge.
Justin's won is bigger than each Worlds.
that was like, yeah, that was the entire, like, if you put all the
Bigger
players up there-
literally and harder competition.
Yes.
And a more complex metagame just because they've stacked on like mechanic after mechanic over the past
Yep.
decade, right? Like
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
but
it
legit, one of the
is-
craziest starts like you'll ever see. It's almost a Tom Brady kind of like story going on. With this dude just kind of popped up and it's like, hey, I win.
I'm here and I'm good.
Yeah, like he's almost in the top 8 already on CP for the.
and he's
the
only
North
been
American.
to 3 events.
Been to 3 events and he's what, number 10?
Yeah, I was gonna look at the
Yeah.
CP stuff, the CP stand-ins.
So really cool team also. So you have that exact core we're talking about, the Palafin, Arcanine, Amoonguss, Firewater Grass core, and then Fluttermane is your big special damage. And then in the last two slots, Chenpao Dragapult, which is so cool because Dragapult with Band was one of those things that everybody was theory crafting about when Series 1 started, and they realized like this just doesn't do quite enough damage. Like it's too frail and it doesn't quite kill things, and so it's just not good. You put it next to Chenpao, suddenly thing's pretty good. And you can go Terra Steel, and that deals with pretty much all your major threats in the metagame. And that as long as you're not... The only thing that's really scary is Scarf Chi-Yu. Outside of that, it's like, oh, Fluttermane with boost energy is faster than me. I don't care. And then Banded Phantom Force does crazy damage. You can swap in Chenpao on the second turn to get that hit to just absolutely nuke things. Really great idea. The Arcanine's pretty offensive too, so it gets the Chenpao benefit on the extreme speed as well. Like, just an awesomely crafted team. I can't wait to see where things develop.
Yeah, it's a very solid.
Yeah.
I love seeing Dragapult, but it's because we lose the Iron Bundle dominance. So as soon as that's gone, like nothing's outspeeding the Dragapult.
Well, yeah, and even then it needs the booster energy, right?
Yeah, so you're losing you're using up an item, and then it's a Dragapult's going to one shot you if you can't KO it right away, which you're probably not going to be able to because that's the only thing that threatens it, and you can't OHKO it if it tears.
And if you I'm gonna say my brain's going now. If you Terra Steel too, like, okay, they're booster energy, they're faster than me. I don't care. I'm gonna Terra Steel. I'm gonna eat your freeze dry with no problem, and you're gonna take 2 Dragon Darts with Chenpao on the field and die. And that's just how it is.
And Phantom Force, I've always liked Phantom Force. Like I liked it in Sword and Shield with it because of
Breaking
its
Protect.
speed but break and
protect.
break protect. Yeah.
I'm impressed both from Sword and Shield and this past performance that Phantom Force being a 2-turn move is doing well.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for
well.
breaking protect, and I think
garbage.
Dragapult's typing probably helps a little bit too, being Ghost and Dragon, just so you have some immunities.
It's a neat typing.
Ghost plus Clear Body is actually insane. Like I was always thinking like, oh, it's so great. The Dragonite gets inner focus. It's immune to Intimidate and immune to flinches. Guess what?
Clear Body's just better.
Clear Body's literally that, but immune to all stat drops. Periods. Like, okay, this booster bundle is faster than me. If I'm Terra Steel, it's not doing damage, and you can't Icy Wind, so your speed control's pointless. Okay, you're faster than me. Who cares?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, Phantom Force and Sword and Shield, it was good in that. Like even whenever you weren't Dynamaxed. So
yeah.
It's a fun little move, and sometimes too, just like they know they can't target that slot with everything at all times. So you kind of
you have to be very careful.
And it's banded, right? Like in open team sheets, I was a big proponent thinking that choice items are garbage in open team sheets. That's not true if you're a good player.
And if you just do a lot of damage, if you just do all the damage, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming.
That's very true.
Yeah, because the thing about that because you're so fast and because you become ethereal or whatever, like they get really scared to target anything in a Dragapult, even if it is really frail, because you might just waste your move if I click it.
Especially that first turn. If that first turn and you double target it and it just disappears, you just
waste.
Yep.
You just wasted a whole turn and you're about to get smacked on the other end.
And a lot of people double protect turn 1 against a choice mod, but not a great decision here.
No, because then they get a free.
Then they're gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good point.
So moving down the list, we have another just storyline, right? Joe UX9 off the back of a second place at the last.
Always
regional.
the bridesmaid, never the bride.
Yeah, unfortunate bridesmaid status here. At least this time it wasn't to a Hydro Pump miss, right? Like I think Justin genuinely
he did. Yeah.
Yes.
There was no RNG.
Very fun to watch.
Yeah, but great set for sure. And notably, Joe did this without a single Ruinous mod on their teams. Just he's like, I'm comfortable with my Series 2 team. He swapped out the Arcanine for a Talonflame because deal with the hyper offensive stuff that's really fast. But otherwise, same old team.
And,
really good.
And he swapped out the Great Tusk for Garchomp.
Right, yeah, which is also huge. The extra speed is really big.
Yeah, that's what everybody was doing it for, because needed that speed on the ground move.
It's impressive to me to see how quickly Great Tusk stocks went down and Garchomp stocks went up with Regulation C. Like I was.
We'll see if it continues, but like in this speedy hyper offensive meta, it makes sense.
Yeah. It's all about the speed.
Plus the way better special defense.
Yeah. Yeah, that was really fun to see. The King Gambit's performance, both Joe's and Luca's,
Yeah.
was really fun to see over the weekend.
Although they
and
both
how-
have very different sets. We can talk
very,
about it in a second.
yeah, very different sets, playing differently, but like played extremely well on both players.
Yeah.
All the stream matches where King Gambit didn't get fissured, it was really really fun to watch to see how they've built these two King Gambits differently and how like oppressive that sword head can be.
Yeah. I will say Luca's team is probably my favorite after Justin's this weekend. It was really cool to see.
It's the same King Gambit he's been running pretty much the entire time, right?
Yeah.
The black
Yeah,
glasses,
both
Terror
are
Dart.
the
Black
same.
glasses, Terra Dart, King Gambit.
Yeah,
Wow.
so like Joe's running the standard AB set with Terra Flying and Terra Blast. It's really good synergy with Garchomp because you can click EQ next to it and all that. And just standard Flying being a great Terra type for King Gambit. But then you have Luca who went, like you said, Terra Dark, Black Glasses, and only dark moves. Kowtow Sucker, Swords Dance Protect, and that next to a Howl Arcanine. Like, you can't intimidate this thing. It is stacking attack boost on attack boost on attack boost. It might do its own Swords Dance where it might attack while Arcanine boosts it. Like, actually wild. And just seeing Howl be a part of the meta now is so cool.
Yeah.
It is fun to see Howl come up because
I've seen it all over the place.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of people running Screamtail now with boosted energy.
Screamtail Howl.
Howls.
I've
seen it next to like Azu as well, which is really fun to see.
I saw it even back in Orlando, and I
powerful.
thought, like, this is really cool. Why don't I see anybody do it? And it turns out, like, that guy I played was just
Well,
way
and
ahead
the
of
fact
time.
it goes through Protect too, so that's
You can protect Howl. And then the thing is, Howl on Arcanine, like, even outside of the partner you're boosting, which is the main effect, suddenly you have boosted extreme speeds. You get +1, +2 extreme
just
speeds.
passively getting your Arcanine stronger
You're talking, like, Dragonite Banded E-Speed level damage just, like, as a
in
bonus.
a couple turns. Yeah.
Yep. Or put next to your Dragonite and get two really fast.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
I've ran into those too. I've ran into a lot of things lately.
Yeah.
Yep. That was really fun.
And then we got Fiona.
Then we
Yeah.
got Fiona. Fiona might be this, like, despite Justin, like, having that historic run, I think Fiona might be the
She was the
story
star of the weekend. Yeah.
Her King Lou was the star of that one.
so-
Oh, yeah,
set on
she-
stream.
For anyone who
She
didn't
went
watch,
off.
she hit 4 out of 5 fissures on stream. She won the She 2-0'd Luca, who is, like, had just got off another a top 4 finish from last weekend, and she 2-0'd him just with straight fissures.
So that was in day 2 Swiss stream matches.
Yeah, so
Yes.
it didn't knock him out. He actually ended high. He ended in 3rd, and she
It
ended
was,
in 4th.
yeah, it was
so-
Swiss. So.
But like, and her interview after the fact was really interesting because she was like talking about, like, she faced Luca the day before.
Yeah, they
and
played
knew
in
that-
day one.
And yeah, so they had faced day 1. Luca won. She knew that basically Luca's team against her team was an auto loss. She's just like, I have to completely change my strategy, and her strategy was Moose Fissure, and it worked. And
I respect it. You
Well,
know
she
your
said
outs
that
and
she
you go
did,
for it.
didn't she say she didn't really use Fissure too often during
She not-
any of the Swiss rounds?
yeah,
But she
was
said,
like,
this
it
this
came in handy
matchup,
there.
she said like you said, she had to change something up. She said, I'm clicking Fissure, and
She
I'm
knew
just
it was her win condition
yeah.
against this team, which, like, back to what we were saying earlier in the episode of, like, is Fissure good? Where does it sit in the meta? How does it work? For it to be, like,
it was good there.
the single out that she had, and, like, her knowing it going in was very... Oh, what's the... I don't know, like, very...
You got there.
clutch. Like, I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
it did what it had to do.
Yeah, and that's what we were talking
it's
about at the beginning of the
interesting that she didn't use it
episode,
before.
right? Is like
Yeah.
it's not objectively good, but like it can dig you out if you're gonna about to
It's
lose.
get out of jail free card, basically. You know,
No, it's a get out of jail
well,
30% of the time, unless you're Fiona, then it's
Yeah.
80% of the time.
yeah.
But I mean, every
Hard.
team has bad matchups, right? Like that.
Yeah.
That is just a rule.
And it
of
just
Pokemon.
erases it. If you can just delete something, it just erases that matchup. So
Like,
I mean,
if you have found a team that genuinely has no bad matchups, then you've broken the format, and there have only been a handful of genuinely broken formats in the past that in that way. So
Right.
a healthy format, which I would say even Reg C generally is, everything has a counter, right? You get to look. if your team has a way to get out of your bad matchups, then awesome. That's something. Maybe it's worth the slot.
I will say Gen 9 feels like one of the most, like, compared to Sword and Shield, every format so far has been almost wide open. It feels like there's way more than just the top 10 Pokemon being used. Like, there's a lot. Like, the power is spread out. Unless you're Flutter Mane.
Fluttermane's kind of, it's another kind of Incin, though, right? It's like, I think it's not really a glue Pokemon and it's not support, but like it's splashable and it makes a lot of other things viable. It's like you are lacking a special attacker and you don't have a fairy or ghost type. Slap this in.
Ghost and Fairy is such a good typing too.
Yeah.
Yes.
It covers
and also I feel like
lot.
there's more sets, more things you can do, and more ways to build Fluttermane right now than like when Incineroar was at its height. Because everyone was kind of running the same support Incineroar for the most part, and that just worked really well. Yeah. But now you have bulky, fast, specs, sash. Like, you have so many different options to build.
I'm probably bringing Imprison to the IC, by the way.
Oh, there you go. Imprison, Dazzling Gleam. That's great.
It's
Booster
Imprison.
Speed.
Yeah, Imprison, Boost Energy.
Dazzle, Shadow Ball.
Shadow Ball, and Moon. I'm doing Moonblast.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and Protect. So
bring 3 attacks because you don't want to get shadow balled by their Flutter, right?
Yeah, I like blocking Protect though. I like stealing your Protect.
It is nice.
Yeah, but to your point, so first off, I do think Incin had a lot of different sets, but you're right. Fluttermane has a ton too. Like we've seen special attack boosting booster energy, like on Justin's team. We've seen speed boosting to like just get faster than Pult. And then like subsets have gotten big too. Choice Specs was all the rage in Series 2.
We've seen Leftover sub.
Leftover sub
on Flutter.
Wasn't that what Wolfie was running in Charlotte, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like that was why it worked. I mean, he did well in it.
And I could be wrong about Incin. I just felt like there was not as much.
There was a go-to, but I would argue that Incin had a lot of sets too. I was running Max Speed, Focus Sash, Incin in Series 12.
There was a lot. You could run Focus Sash. I was running Focus Sash there for a little bit because, or Protect Incin.
Yeah, Protect Incin was a thing. Like the items changed a lot.
Weakness policy. You played anyone from like Korea on the ladder, and it was a weakness policy. You knew it was going to be a weakness policy Incin every time you see him.
Building because I don't pay attention to things. Duh.
We're just adamant sets, yeah. Okay, so one other thing I noticed is that there was not very much Chi-Yu in this one. Fiona had it, but didn't really seem to use it very much, and it just crashed and burned. I watched the set for Nathaniel Sittler, Atmosphere, really good player, by the way. I think I might have played them in something, but yeah, no. Like they played against Joe on stream, and it was just like rough to watch. Like that Chi-Yu did nothing. I think that like it's obviously really good in certain contexts. Like it's a very strong mon. It dominated like the early meta, but I think it's the most inconsistent and the most frail of them because unlike Chen Pao, it's not running Sash 90% of the time.
Yeah, it's in a weird spot. I think it's going to be. I think it's one of the Pokemon that's going to shine more when we get the restricted format. I think that's going to be its time. Like it's fine now, but I just think it's just in a weird spot.
You got to think that its big moves, the things that like really define it, are Heat Wave and Overheat, and both of those can mess like really critically. Although it was really cool to see. I think they weren't in top 8, but they were top 16. I want to say. There was Jody, who finished
Jody's
15.
Jody's team was pretty cool.
Hard hyper offense, banded Corviknight was super cool. But then
the Corviknight,
Terra Fire, and that would be in the sun with the Sunny Day Murkrow. So you have Sunny Day Murkrow who puts the sun, and then and then the Goldfish clicks Overheat in the sun with its ability, drops its special attack by 2, and Murkrow clicks Haze, and it does it all over again.
Yep.
Who was he playing on stream? Was it Tyson? Was that who he was playing on stream?
I forget, but it was brutal. It was
the fissures and I was just looking.
We have the stream schedule somewhere.
Here's the last match, was it? No, almost. Oh yeah, Song Yuen. That team was awesome on stream that Jody played. The Toxapex team with the Wo-Chien.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it did super well, but yeah, it was very cool to see. It must have done well prior to that, right? Obviously, to get to that point. Very cool to see that working as well. There's an Iron Treads on Jesse Romolo's team who made 10th. Never saw that coming, to be perfectly honest.
It's good in a flutter main.
Yeah, there you go. And it solves that speed problem that Tusk has, right?
Yeah, because it's very fast.
Yeah, and then Wolf.
Oh, Song Yi-Win made 59th.
Yeah, pretty good. And Wolf did Farigarath as well in there, which is pretty cool to see.
Yeah,
all the priority makes sense.
Him and Strattard, not Marcus Strattard. That's not who he's building with. Who's his other building person he always plays with? I know they both brought it. He said they both brought it to this.
Yeah, I do remember him saying that. But him and one of his buddies brought something.
I always think Aaron Trailer. That's who it is.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, seeing like it's with a lot of the priority stuff coming up, seeing Farigarath exist, or honestly the drop off of Ndidi. I kind of thought Ndidi would still exist more to be supportive, not for expanding force, but for everything else that Ndidi does.
Yeah, but there wasn't much of it, honestly.
Yeah, not much.
I think it'll come. I think Ndidi will have its spot eventually. Yeah. One of the points too, talking about the Chi Yu here in this meta, what we have over here. I think the Ting-Lu, I feel like we're a lot more higher stocks on Ting-Lu, and it just doesn't like seeing a Ting-Lu on the field.
Yeah, that's fair. That's very fair. We knew coming into this though that, like I said earlier, Ting-Lu was going to dominate the beginning of this meta.
Yeah.
And I think we'll have Qian and Chi Yu are going to come up later when someone cracks the code on how to play those right, but I think they're the hardest two to play.
Yeah, Wo Qian to me is very like Ferrothorn. That's the vibes I get from it. It's the same kind of play style.
And I wholeheartedly
you want to leech seed. You just kind of want to sit there and be annoying.
What did we have? 3 Wo Qians in Sydney. What did they actually run?
Giga Drain, Pollen Puff, Leech Seed, Protect, I think is what I saw.
They all ran Giga Drain, Pollen Puff, Leech Seed, and Protect. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something to that.
Yep.
They said it was also 190 Masters players. It's a smaller showing, but that's not unindicative of that could do
skill.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and skill.
Oh my gosh, I'm looking at some of these scenes. VJ Sood, Gardevoir, Meowscarada, Iron Moth, Azumarill, Tinkaton, and Braviary.
Yeah. Unreal. I think I've seen that on ladder too. People are grabbing that.
And not even Defiant Braviary and like bringing Sheer Force, Slifer Braviary.
I'm excited about Brendan King's team. Number 19. Fluttermane, Doxbun, Chi Yu, Azumarill, Chien-Pao, Dragonite.
Doxbun making
Lava Plume.
top 20.
It's probably Lava Plume, right?
It is Lava Plume,
Yeah.
Chi Yu, One Choice Scarf. It's very cute. Yeah. Honestly, I think that's just like you force people to respect it because it's open sheets. Like you gotta be ready. You gotta
think about it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you can't touch it, like,
Yeah, that's pretty.
You're gonna be
fun.
clicking Fissure into it, hoping you win.
Always an option.
If you bring it, you gotta bring it for it to be an option.
True.
So, yeah, it's fun to see. Like, there's, I think, all 3 regulations, since that's what they're officially called retroactively. But everything we've seen, and even Series 0, like the meta has been so, I think you said, like, so wide open, right? Like there's no, there are things you expect and things that like look like they're going, like, this is clearly a Series 2 team, Regulation B team, whatever. But like, still so many options for building, so much of the space for creativity and team building and how you're going to run your teams, which is very fun. And I don't think that's not going anywhere anytime soon. Maybe that's what makes this like real Pokemon.
I'm just going down to the list here, and I'm just having fun. There's a Colossal.
Of
With
course,
no-
you have fun with the Colossal.
If it's on the
No
list, it made points.
Like,
true.
that's awesome. With the old school, we got Dragapult and Surf. Will-O-Wisp, Fanaport. Like, it is our old school Dragapult. It's a lot of fun. I like that.
Yeah.
Foul play, Wo-Chien. That's an option.
Rockslide, Fire Punch, and Iron Head Colossal.
Over Flare Blitz. I guess you're
Yeah.
like already low on
You
health.
don't want to damage yourself, yeah.
Oh, another Halucha in 78th.
But that is something that I will say. You want to talk about being disappointed with damage? A weakness policy boosted Colossal does not do what you think it's going to do.
Yeah.
Not
It
in
is
this
sad.
format. I believe it.
All right.
Yeah. What else you got?
I think that's kind of it for Fort Wayne, right?
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, like, there's so much to look at, and we do, we do extremely well of talking through every single team that Victor Road lists for every single tournament.
It's like what catches my eye.
No, I think, like,
It's so
obviously,
much
like,
fun.
we can't sit here and talk about everything, right?
Oh,
Like,
no.
There's so much, especially
There is.
in this, again, wide open format. Go look at these teams. Like, go on Victory Road. Go look up
Find something you like and just jam
try it out. Maybe, I mean, a lot of Victory Road doesn't
They don't show EVs.
show EVs, so like maybe you can like Twitter stalk them because
They have their Twitters though, and it's usually linked if they have
Most of
one.
the time.
So.
which is fun because I'm like, oh yeah, I saw mine and I'm like, I guess they just looked up my name and found me. That makes sense.
Check out VGC Pace on Twitter. It's not on the sheet anymore. They have their own website now, but they will.
Oh, really?
But they'll do their absolute best to scrape Twitter and find if they ever post
Yeah.
EVs. I know that Justin posted the EVs for his team. I want to say that I've seen them for the third place team that I really liked as well. So yeah, just
Yeah, if
give
it's
them
out
a
there-
look. They work really hard.
Yeah, if it's out there, Evan gets them.
Yeah.
Oh, is the Phalanx Team Builder? Is that their website? No.
Yes, it is Phalanx.
Okay.
Yeah, it's called Team Builder. I don't know why, because it's mostly just it's
just
the spreadsheet, but not like it. They had grown
It's a
too
spreadsheet,
big.
but usable.
Yeah, they had grown too big. Google Sheets couldn't handle the size of the data set they had.
Yeah, it was pretty messy pretty quickly into the early times of that.
Yeah,
I can't
probably-
imagine what it would
Probably
look like
shouldn't have done sprites, but
Oh yeah,
It makes it more fun to look at.
it does.
Well, that's cool. I didn't know that. I'm very excited now because I kind of like. I stopped using VGC Paste because it was just impossible to use the sheet. So that's exciting. Cool. Well, go check that out too because that's super exciting and you get to support someone in the community, another person in the community, Evan.
And I think he has a team now as well, which is great because man wasn't sleeping.
Needed, absolutely needed. Cool. So, what's next?
I think that kind of covers it. We talked about the global challenge, the online cup. So
Yeah.
Yep.
So look up details for that because
register
It's a ladder
this weekend.
tour?
register soon.
yeah,
'cause I think
it's ladder.
It starts Thursday night if I recall. So you're gonna need to be registered before then.
So register as soon as you hear this.
Pretty much, yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I'm
when you
gonna go
register, you have to
register.
have your team ready. Remember that too.
Yeah.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, that's why
Haven't signed on a team
one of
yet.
one of the last little online things they did. I was like going to do it, but it's like I went to sign up, and they're like, "Oh, what's your team?" I was like, "I don't have that," so I just never did.
Okay. So get ready for that. Maybe in the next couple of days we'll have some. Well, time doesn't work that way, but we'll have some maybe discussions in the Discord or team building and ideas. So if you're interested in that, join the Discord down below. In the link tree, you'll find that. And we do practice stuff. We have all of our announcements. We have our Battle Corner, which is currently finishing up here soon. Signups are going to be live by the time this episode is live. Or I have just failed. So that'll be coming up. That'll be our first Regulation C Battle Corner. We'll probably start in next-ish week sometime. It'll be in the announcement when we post that. Do we have anything else fun for the Game Corner? I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
We don't do fun things here. But if you want
Fun
to
as a
see
crutch.
more,
This is fun. This is fun. This is your fun.
If you want to see more fun and you want to support fun, our Patreon is down below in the link tree also. can check that out. Like us on YouTube if you're watching us there. Leave a comment. What should the comment be this week that we super read and review every time we record?
Give me ideas for a t-shirt.
Okay, merch ideas. What do you want us to produce? If you,
I need something to like. I want to force myself to kind of start drawing some more stuff and everything. So I need
as he's wearing
give me ideas.
Pokesports merch. If you listening, yes, you. I'm talking directly to you. No one else listening. If you could design a piece of Game Corner merch that you would want to wear, what would it be? Leave that in the comment section down below, or answer that on Spotify. I don't actually know how to read those. I should look into that.
Say it on. Shoot me a DM on Twitter.
Yeah, we're on
Tag
Twitter.
us on
you can
Twitter.
follow us there, so long as that platform is still alive in a couple of days. Again, Discord might be the best place to contact us. All that fun stuff.
We're gonna have to make a Facebook page or something at this rate.
No. Anyway.
Hopefully we have TikTok downloaded. That way we can still make an account.
I haven't done that yet. Also, we should do more shorts just for the fun of it, but I don't have content to do that or time, let alone. Anyway, thank you to RobKTA and Game Chops for use of our theme song, Goldenrod Game Corner, off the Ultraball album. I have been Harrison. You can find me online, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Roixen. Again, all of my stuff's down below. Hey, Rowan, who are you?
I'm Rowan. You can find me on YouTube, Rowan Hall, Twitter, Rowan W Hall. I already commandeered time at the beginning, but yeah, tons of Malamar content, and hopefully going to start doing just some like fun random mon team building stuff too, like I used to do back in Swish. So yeah,
that'll be fun.
Come check it out. And I've been joined by.
This is Sheldon. You can find me on Twitter at Captain_Unova and on Twitch at Captain Unova. Hopefully I'll be back streaming on there this week again. That was good. Did it last week. Maybe I'll stream some of the IC run. Maybe we'll see how the weekend goes.
That'll be
I will
good.
probably stream some IC run and
I'll
like I did
see how
for
the
this
weekend goes.
cut some videos out of that. We'll see how that comes.
Yeah, I need to
Gonna stream snipe the hell out of you guys.
Hell yeah!
Rude. It's all for points now.
If we end up match, that'll be just insane. If you match with anybody you know playing, like
there's gonna be. I
want to know.
So, what's your predictions on the amount of people playing in this?
I was just gonna say, I wonder how many people are gonna play this and how many people are gonna sign up.
Day one,
we get stats.
Day one,
or just total
tens
amount
of
of
thousands.
people.
Like total people who play a game, like tens of thousands easily.
You think so? No, easily. Like I was
worldwide,
gonna say probably,
I think so.
I was gonna say,
oh yeah, I guess it's fair.
There were like
say
30,000 people in Master Ball and Sword and Shield at the end when everybody stopped. Right?
Well, I was gonna say the biggest ICs I remember on Sword and Shield were reaching about 30,000 participants. So I want to say this one's probably going to double it.
That does fall in the range of tens of thousands, doesn't it?
It does.
That's how language works. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
I'll say we'll hit about 60 to 70,000.
I'm afraid because one of those gets what 160 CP.
150.
150 CP.
Yep.
That's half your world's invite. Just do that. Just be the best out of 60,000 twice.
That wins some locals. You're good to go.
Oh yeah. Yes, we talked about it last week, but locals are back, so look forward to that. That'll be fun. I know. Our community is the Florida, Georgia, Carolinas communities have been talking about that a lot.
Yeah, it'll be good.
So.
You all need to travel up.
Yeah. No. Last time I went to Georgia, last time I drove to Georgia, my car exploded, and I don't feel like doing that again. Just saying.
Sounds like a chat for the Patreon only.
That is a story that we can have. We've got Captain's Corner.
You want those
stories.
local points? You gotta go through treachery. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's not where I can go to Orlando at. Much closer. Less of a drive. Anywho. I think
Go get your tickets. Yeah. Go get ready for your tickets.
Yeah, we
about that time.
Hopefully by the time y'all have listened to this, I mean Hartford's been open for a couple days, so
Good luck.
hopefully you got in. I'm retroactively wishing you good luck. In real time now, but retroactively when you listen to this, or however that works. time travel.
All right, we want to wrap this up.
No,
Yes.
we keep rambling. That's how we do this. We have 18 minutes until tickets go live. We have time, Rowan. It's okay. But until next time, press starting game on. Bye.
We need like a secret signal to be like to
No.
the like
No,
the
we
the
don't.
fucking, like curved cane that
yeah,
like grabs people and
yanked
just,
up.
We don't need a secret signal.
We, like,
have
finished-
you.
we have
to yell
we
at
have
me.
the,
Are we
finished
done
the,
here?
Like we finished the topic and then we're just like like me but like 3 people in real time.
Oh, it's so much. No, it's that's the best. The best part is when we are just
Being real.
off our rocker. Yeah, just talking.
If we have
Just
like
your
a banter,
everyman's
if we have
man.
a banter topic, then sure. It's like, so what's next? Like, nothing. I guess I don't know.
but we didn't.
And then we're
for
like, oh
too
wait,
long.
what about this?
Yeah, we did keep going. To be fair, and hey, we're still going.
We're still recording.
We don't
You're gonna
stop.
you're gonna have
It
to
never
bleep,
ends.
You're gonna have to bleep me about the cane then, but
That's okay. I have a button for that, and which works for me, not you. And then I can. No, I have a record scratch. I have sound effects that I've pulled.
You need what's the worst Pokemon cry that you can think of that you can dub over?
Cartoon.
yes.
Yes.
Except it's way longer than 4 letters.
Can we start making this an adult language podcast, but you have to bleep us with Cricketune?
Oh my!
I'm just gonna start throwing them in there every once in a while.
If we do, hey, if we do, we need to consistently record 2 days before we go live. I barely have enough editing time as it is. Which reminds
I
me,
want to be dubbed with the fat Pikachu, the the Gigantamax
Thumbnail.
Pikachu.
The thumbnail's in the chat already. Do you want me to send it to you again?
Oh, no, I'll just grab that. Actually, yeah, that's fine. What do we? I forgot you did that.
The one with the Pokemon text and not
The one with the Pokemon.
the one with the Pokemon text like
I know,
font. Yeah.
I know. Where'd it go? What? Oh, this is announcements. I'm looking in the entirely wrong chat. That would help. Where'd it go? Oh, I found it. I'm good. I got it. Yeah. Yeah, let's do it. We'll use that. And then we'll get up a good system for that later. All right. We have 15 minutes now, and I'm super worried about not getting tickets, so I'm going to stop recording.
Okay.
Cool.
And go start editing this podcast. Go put us in boxes.
My video finished processing during this podcast too, so that's nice.
Oh, your
Audio video, yeah. It's
Oh,
pretty good.
got it.
I watched his perspective and he was like, "Is that Scarf Torkoal?" I'm like, "Yeah, it is."